Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Melanie, your She Shed Scrapper. So today I am back with my completed Disney album. We're going to kind of do a flip through. Hopefully the glare, because of the page protectors, isn't too bad. So I'll kind of readjust the album maybe to depending on the glare. So we will get started. This album is thick, you guys. Oh man, and this is just yeah, one trip to Disney. So we will get started. And I'm realizing I have so much stuff to the left of my desk. I don't know if we can. There we go. Just move some things. All right. So this one here is using a Simple Stories collection. It doesn't have anything to do with Disney, but you know, it's our travel there. And for whatever reason, we could not check in online. And I was like, well, perfect. Now I have our boarding passes for scrapbooking. So I did implement that. I think I still maybe will do some journaling. We'll see. But I do have a Mickey die. And so I did add that just to kind of have an idea of where we were going. So we stayed at Art of Animation, and that is such an amazing park, or not park, resort for kids. So they've got the Lightning McQueen, they have Finding Nemo, and they have the Lion King. So we went exploring one morning, and I just took some pictures, kind of line these ones up, cut this one down a little bit, did lots of scrap pieces and flags at the bottom, and then added some to fill in that space at the top, and then Hakuna Matata for my title. And then the cars, I had an old Cricket, I guess I can pull that over a little bit, an old Cricket collection that was all Cars themed, and so that is what I used for this one. That is this paper, and these two. And then because it was kind of that black and red and yellow, I was able to incorporate other Disney collections with it. It looks like I used one of the old Say Cheese from Simple Stories, or maybe some Echo Park too. So really just brought in a bunch of different pieces from my stash. Radiator Springs Adventures for my title. So close up with Lightning McQueen, and then kind of the whole hotel motel there. So this 2-page is from Paper Wizard. I splurged on this one, and they were so nice. So I bought it in 2024, and so it was originally 2024, and they replaced the year for me to my 2023. So really easy design. So the strips of paper go all the way across, and then sorry, there's a big truck going by. Just a couple of photos here. A logging truck. That's what you get for being in the country, I guess. But a couple photos and simple embellishments. And then this one was fun. These are a couple of photos from kind of the morning at the park, I guess I would say. So added some of those. And then I love this idea where you do like the circles, or I recently did a soccer layout where I did squares and used the squares for embellishing. So this was really fun to kind of piece together. And then Paper Wizard as well, I ended up buying some of the mining things for the Seven Dwarfs because I wasn't sure how to scrapbook that. We rope dropped this ride. This was the first one that, first roller coaster my kids really have ever ridden, and we weren't really sure how it was going to go. So lucky for us, it went well because this was the first day of our park days. And so just our ride photos here, and they loved it, thank goodness. And then just use that Paper Wizard, and it looks like an old Close to My Heart collection for the kind of the colors in the background. This one here, I'm thinking it's probably a Paige Evans cut file. This is Disney, but we went in December and it was decorated for Christmas. So I added Christmas. Really, really simple design here. I did some black splatters. These, they kind of have like little booths set up. So we got some photos in those booths. And then really just simple clusters there. This one was so fun. Neither boy enjoyed it when they were done, but I believe both of them would say they would do it again. So Tron, I went with that kind of color scheme. I went on and tried to find on Cricut kind of something that was like maybe the Tron. I don't even know what it is, to quite honest. I just like the ride. But went with kind of just that blue and black theme. So this was Waiting in Line. These are our ride photos, which are amazing and funny. My youngest, I was riding with him, and I think he started crying. And I just remember looking at him and saying, "It's okay. It's okay. You're going to be okay." So just really fun. And then some photos after the fact. Yeah, some of the memory maker, is that what it's called, photos here. So, but really, I don't know, kept the design for the papers the same all the way across, and really was able to get quite a few photos on these 2 pages. And then A Taste of Magic, another paper wizard. Again, pictures I wasn't sure how to scrapbook or how to, document. So lots and lots of photos and journaling under here about all of the foods we tried. Another flip flap here with some extra foods there. So we really just did it up when it came to the food. The crepes were a favorite for all of us. Mine, I love anything buffalo chicken. So that's the buffalo chicken sandwich, Cheshire cattail. My husband actually took this photo. He is amazing when it comes to that. He knows I want to document. We thought at Magic Kingdom that the Toy Story, is it Toy Story Mania? I can't remember if that's, I think that might be Hollywood Studios. Anyways, the Toy Story ride, we couldn't remember if it was 3D, and we were trying to be careful with our oldest because of seizures. It turns out our doctor would have been fine with him riding it, but we weren't sure. So they went and got a special treat while we were riding that, and he snapped this photo. Of course, you got to get a Mickey pretzel, waffles, Christmas desserts, another buffalo chicken flatbread, and another Christmas dessert. So lots of busy papers too, big strips down the middle. Looks like layered paper behind it, and then red all the way across, and the blue paper all the way across. So lots of pattern papers on this one. I got a spot for another one. So I used Cocoa Vanilla Studio collection for this one. I love the mountains. So this is Big Thunder Mountain. So the mountain paper was perfect for that. I do still have to journal. This one was really funny. We made my mom, this was her first roller coaster of the trip. I'm sure she's been on them in the past, but it's been a while. We made her go on this one, and she was yelling at my sister, "I don't trust you. I'm never going to trust you again." And we just thought it was hilarious. So we're all laughing. So I definitely need to document that. But really kept it simple with a wood grain paper, flag coming down here, and then accented with stars, and then a small cluster at the top. Space for an extra layout. All right, parade photos. There are so many. So I cut them all really small, except for like the intro to the parade. I kept, I think, a 4x6 and then really heavily matted that one. Black border around the outside, strips of paper all the way across. And then, just kind of clustered my photos. And because I had an extra large space to fill, I cut out a Mickey head, distressed the edges, kind of used the extra space then for a cluster. My title down at the bottom. And then flares from Scrap and Happy Studio. You'll see those throughout too. She had a whole box of Disney flares, so that was perfect. And then I cut out the teacups on my Cricut. I think this black circle is probably left over from that Tron layout. Just have my photos going across the page for the teacups. I thought the titles were the same, Magic Moments and Magic Memories. Found scallops on the Cricut again and added those around, and then kind of kept with the circular theme with embellishing, snuck in a few floral pieces, flares from Scrap and Happy Studio. So lots of different collections, pieces. I think these are probably 6x6 paper pads of Echo Park. This is Simple Stories. Those I think are 6x6. So what is wonderful is that a lot of like the older Simple Stories, Echo Park collections, where it's mainly like this color scheme, still you can intermingle with the newer collections as well. Merry Stitchmas here. We love Stitch. My youngest is obsessed. So just put those side by side. And then big paper across, I don't know, again, some circular themes here. And down here, some flags, and then my title, Merry Stitchmas. This one was fun. So we went as a whole family, and my sister joined, and we call her Auntie. So of course we had to get a photo in front of Auntie Gravity. And then this was cute. They were both holding her hand. So I made a layout kind of her and went with that purple from her sweatshirt. So most of this paper is from the Reese collection from Felicity Jane. This Today is Magical is as well. And then the purple papers and these backing papers there. Cut out Mickey and added my title, Auntie's Boys. I didn't really need a title, I guess, but felt like it needed something. So did add that. And then Today is Magical. And then some flares from Scrap and Happy Studio. Another busy layout. There's magic in the air. So again, Paper Wizard. They are layered and wonderful. And so just clustered my 4 photos in the middle. Added one that I took off of social media. I did not stay till closing, nor did I snap this photo, but it's wonderful and beautiful. And then 2 more photos over here. We were all exhausted. My youngest, his medicine at the time made him sleepy, and so before the fireworks was just over it, but he perked up during the fireworks and loved it. So that definitely helped. I snuck in Tinkerbell because she does fly, but it doesn't look like I have a photo of that. So Tinkerbell flies over during the fireworks. So she's in there. Another flare from Scrap and Happy Studio down there. All right, this photo shoot here was one of my absolute favorites. If you are contemplating Memory Maker and you are a scrapbooker, do it, because I don't have many photos of the 4 of us, and my sister had gotten stopped, for her bag or whatever. So we decided to do kind of the photos in front of Hollywood Studios before we entered the park while we were waiting. These are some of my favorite photos of us ever. I absolutely love them. So what I did is I printed one 4x6, and because the rest are kind of similar, I printed them smaller and just scattered them around. Obviously bordered, and then just 2 easy clusters. Love the scallop border across the top, like how that kind of fills in that space. And then just the 2 clusters there. This one, we loved meeting Sully, and I don't think I can show you guys, and it's dirty and whatnot, but I actually have coffee in it, so which way? But anyways, I have a Mike Wazowski coffee cup. I also have a Sully cup, and on the bottom they have their mouths, and let's see, Mike is smiling, Sully is screaming, I think. So might as well take a sip of my Mike Wazowski cup, or of my coffee in my Mike cup. I figured how appropriate while going through my Disney album. That was totally a splurge after the fact. Got those shipped to the house. They are giant, they're wonderful. I love the mouths on the bottom. So for Sully, I don't know, he is just amazing, and I wasn't sure, my oldest just was not sure about going. He was 9 at the time maybe, and just, he loved it, and I think he would go back. He was not sad that his brother and I went back. he doesn't want to miss school, which is crazy to me at that young, that is that important to him. I am blessed beyond measure that it is. But he quickly became, not obsessed, but loved Sully. So this was fun for him to meet Sully. So 2 4x6 and a smaller one here. And again, just love the mixture of pattern papers and the embellishments. So was able to kind of cover up some of the photos with a cluster here, a big title, say cheese, and then a journaling card and a smaller cluster down at the bottom. So going with the characters, the Incredibles. So again, I went with the color scheme, the reds and the blacks and the yellows, kind of clustered them in the middle, and then that left kind of, I guess, maybe obvious spaces. So just added kind of a bigger ephemera piece here, Adventures Out There, and then cut this and used it kind of to layer some embellishments to fill in this space, excuse me, and then a smaller cluster at the top, a meet and greet. And then I wondered what to do for Olaf. Do I do winter or do I do beach? Because he is at the beach in the meet and greet. And I decided to kind of go beachy. I did get this I Love Warm Hugs. Maybe at the Stamp and Scrapbook Expo, or the Great Lakes Mega Meet. I'm not 100% sure. But older Echo Park collection. And just use the kind of wood grain paper, brought a solid color down, and then a scallop at the top. These are cutouts from the Echo Park collection, and then just brought in pieces from different collections as well. The chipboard are that same Echo Park, but these look like Bella Boulevard, Hearts, and then Scrap and Happy Studio. This one I love as well. I love Toy Story Land. It was one of my absolute favorites. Also bought this. It's not Paper Wizard, but I got that somewhere else. And maybe they were two separate and I combined them. I don't know. But have the plaid paper. Again, kind of wanted to go with that color scheme. So the plaid paper for the majority of it with the red and white polka dot across. So what, I got 6 photos on this 2-page layout. It is busy, but again, you already saw how thick my album was, so I didn't need much more. So small cluster, needed to fill in this space, so did a little journaling and some phrase stickers, small cluster, and Magical Day at the Park to fill in that space. This one here was Paper Wizard for sure. Again, they're not cheap, but look at how amazing this is. The title, it was a whole page kit. So again, 2 photos. Love the Slinky roller coaster there. So I did as many roller coaster photos as I could, and then had just 2 other photos in there. Love the monkeys. I don't know, just a really fun layout for Toy Story Land. Then we did, another photo shoot in Hollywood Studios. So clustered my photos and then kind of just did the 3 embellishment clusters here using the Hollywood Studios themed Simple Stories collection. You got the train, the movies here as well, and then 2 flares from 3 flares from Scrap and Happy Studio. Riding the Railway, I don't think I have any photos actually on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad, but we were in front of it, so I kind of used that as my theme. This one here, Star Wars. I honestly don't know much about Star Wars, so I did my best and just combined things. I have quite a bit of this paper too. I think it's the same. No, this is like Say Cheese Galaxy or something. I don't remember. But Space Wars for my title, and then a couple of clusters added what looks like drones to me. I don't know, here and another one up there at the top, but really simple design. I did cut this paper into a triangle to add to it, but really simple design there. All right, You can kind of see they are pretty simple designs, but I feel like the embellishments, titles, that kind of thing is what makes it. So 3 stacked photos, some embellishments on the bottom photo, celebrate magic, and some tags for some journaling. So not complicated, right? But I really like how that turns out. I like the colors. Then this one here is just a grid. I filled in the extra spaces with 2 cut apart cards and then some embellishing on the corners. I did some stitching on this one. The yellow around is stitching. And if you look closely, I don't really want to get it out, but I think I will. I didn't know this until after, obviously, they took the photo. They must have a special lens. Again, this was at Hollywood Studios, but if you look at the lights, they are Mickey shaped. They were not Mickey shaped on the tree. I'm almost 100% sure they were not. So again, just the little extras for that memory maker make it so worth it. I think this is the same photo as here, but you know, I never pay attention that closely. So love, and added a picture into the Mickey head here, and really simple with a cluster here, use some washi tape at the top and the bottom, and that is that. I believe this is a Paige Evans cut file. The boys, it was December. I know Florida's still kind of warm, but the boys really, really wanted to go to the pool. So my husband, bless his heart, got in with them for a hot minute and froze his butt off. They had Mickey out of towels, which I thought was adorable, and then the heaters. So when they got out of the pool, they then went to the heaters. So I used a summery collection and a pool flare from Scrap and Happy Studio for this one. Added in some Christmas layouts because obviously it was all decorated for Christmas. My brother-in-law joined us our last day at Epcot, so he is in these photos. So this is a Pink Fresh collection, Magical Memories for my title. Not a die cut. Is it die cut? I don't know. That I bought and has the Mickey head out of it. Some tags at the top. So again, simple. Another cut file, I think, from Paige Evans, like a tree. And so these were the trees, I believe, in America or the United States section of Epcot. So they each got a picture with those, and then the poinsettias here. I got a little hidden Mickey kind of there, and then just used a crepe paper collection, I think. Another flare here. So this one was fun. So we did not tell anybody. I think my sister, brother-in-law, and I probably knew that Beverly is very bitter. So we all tried the pops at the Coca-Cola store. Never told them that, you know, the Beverly is too bitter. So to play with that, I kind of have my title, Have You Met Beverly? I don't know. My husband and I watched, oh no, now I can't think of the show. Oh, you guys. Anyways, the phrase in the show that we used to watch all the time was, have you met Ted? Help me out if you watch that show. It's gonna bug me now. Anyways, so I kind of had that in mind, and have you met Beverly? Well, Beverly is, from Italy. It's just very bitter, but they had China. I think it tasted like barbecue to me. Just different flavors of pops from around the world. This one was fun. This is from Guardians of the Galaxy. So I went to Cricket again to try and find a big kind of title. And then we went all together. My mom actually went. And then we decided to go, I think the boys, my sister and I went a second time. So that is why there are 3. So we went the first time, and then this 4 went a second time. So went kind of with a circular theme for embellishing and a title over top of the big kind of Cricket title. We're almost there. So this is a cut file from Erica Rose Creates, My Happy Place. I just cut it out in black and then added some photos. We were on our way to get dinner and stopped for photos. I don't usually have photos of just myself. But as everybody else was waiting in line for food, I decided, you know what? I have nothing to lose. If I don't like them, I don't like them. But I actually got photos of just me. And I am so thankful I did, because actually, if you look at my headshots kind of for the design teams, it's this photo, and that is from Disney. So that's fun for that one. This was so fun. And it says, oh, Goofy, because Goofy has my hair up in his arm. The kids, nobody knew at the time, but it is something we remember. And you can visibly see that he's got my hair stuck in his arm. So we loved meeting Goofy as well. All right, busy, 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 right? Photos galore. So 6 photos across, 2 on top, little place for pattern paper, but I snuck it in where I could. So strips of this blue, the yellow, and the black. I just really added the black, so I had somewhere to kind of anchor some embellishments. So my title, and then this kind of amusement park ephemera on here, and then just a couple of clusters at the bottom here. Oh, another place I have got to figure out. I like them in order, and so I have 2 extra places. I'll have to play around with it. So this one was fun. I got this idea somewhere, maybe Instagram, and they had cut it out in stars. Well, I cut it out in Mickey heads to make shaker pockets. So I guess just 1 shaker pocket. And then I backed all the rest in paper, and then added photos to the bottom. I love this photo. It's like the sunset glow, and we were eating dinner in the UK, and then just added the cut apart for my title. But one of my favorites, I have 1 photo of each boys. Maybe I could do that and add that here. With that same type of glow. I don't have those in here anywhere, so I'll have to do that. Then, Journey of Water. So, an older jungle collection from Simple Stories. And then some cricket pieces. The flowers, flares from Scrap and Happy Studio. And then I do have some film strips from 49 and Market as well. So, strips of paper along the edges, and then the green going across. Yeah, just a lot of fun. I like how this is interactive, and I can see how on a hot day, this would be kind of a place to go, because there are different interactive water elements. And lastly, our trip to, oh my goodness, you guys, it's at the Polynesian. I can't even think of the restaurant. I am so ashamed right now. Anyways, we surprised my youngest. I went into the trip not thinking I wanted to do any sit-down restaurants. I didn't want to take the time. My husband on the way there was like, if he can meet Stitch, that's what I want to do. I want him to remember the characters, because he is, as you can tell, completely obsessed. And so I was actually able to snatch a reservation on the way to the airport. So really fun layout using that same collection here. And then these leaves were actually cut from my sister's baby shower. And so I just added some of those, 2 larger photos, and then the smaller photo here. I do have photos of him meeting Stitch. I am including a couple of layouts each in the boys' albums. So this is primarily, I just didn't want to do everything 3 times. That would have been way too much. So they have special layouts in their album. So him meeting Stitch will be a special layout in his album. And maybe I will continue on now that I kind of look at it and say, hey, like this one, I could add the boys from this dinner over here. I could add Ohana, because actually that dinner or that breakfast was before we went to Hollywood Studios. So I could probably move that one. We might do some moving around. That would have been before this one. But anyways, I hope you guys found some inspiration. I know not everybody is into Disney, but I think the special thing about scrapbooking is if you see a layout design, even if it's in a theme that you are not a fan of, you can then change it into whatever you want and change it to a theme that you love. So hopefully you guys found some inspiration either for other layouts or for Disney layouts. I would love to see, if you do find inspiration, to see those. I have a Facebook group. The link is down in the comments. So join there. And if you find inspiration in Scrap Lift, I would love to see your creations. But I hope you guys enjoyed this album review, and we will see you later. Bye, guys.